You are listening to Zimbabwe News. Keep listening to Zimbabwe News.
The Herald, we've got the Chronicle, and we have the Newsday. And some of the headlines you can look for too. The WHO ranks Zim in vaccine procurement. Pharmacists are selling unapproved COVID test kits. Farmers are being paid $17.5 billion for grain deliveries. Police hunt for serial real estate fraudster. Ooh, scary stuff right there. New technology to ease congestion at toll gates. We're looking forward to that one. And wife torches house to fix husband. What is happening in Zimbabwe? All right, and Bennett raises a Zim flag high. Those are our headlines for press review. Now remember, as we always say, please go out and buy the newspapers. Right here, we just give you the snippets, just the headlines. But we would like you to just actually go out and buy the newspapers. Press review coming up next. All right, in our top story from the Herald this morning, WHO ranks Zim in vaccine procurement. That is a story from Mukudze Chingwere, who's a Herald reporter. Now, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Health Organization have rated Zimbabwe among the best countries in the world when it comes to buying and acquiring supplies for COVID-19 vaccines in their comprehensive joint database to track the number of COVID-19 vaccines secured through different channels. IMF and WHO gave Zimbabwe a rating of around 98% for its efforts that have seen payments already made for around 85% of the vaccines needed for the national program. Really, really great news right there. Imagine we are one of the top countries. 98%. That's Zimbabwe. You got to be proud of our nation. All right, Farai, over to you. What's next in the Herald?
Still looking at more headlines are making the Herald. Our headliner reads, pharmacies sell unapproved COVID-19 tests. A story by Ivan Jakata, our Herald correspondent. Now, there's some Harare pharmacies selling substandard COVID-19 test kits not approved for use, and those relying on the results from such kits could be putting the lives of the public at risk if positive cases are reported as negative. During a multi-stakeholder inspection by the Ministry of Health and Childcare, Health Professionals Authority, and Medical Laboratories and Clinical Scientists Council yesterday, it was established that pharmacies were selling the kits that were not permitted for use in the country. Naughty, naughty, naughty. There we look forward to some sort of traction taking place in addressing that issue. Zaza, more stories coming up?
Absolutely. We still are with the Herald this morning, and the headline reads, farmers paid $17.5 billion for grain deliveries. And this is a story by Golden Sibanda, our senior business reporter. Our government has so far paid about $17.5 billion to farmers across the country for grain deliveries to the Grain Marketing Board. Finance and Economic Development Minister Professor Mthuli Ncube has said after a stellar farming season that saw a record grain output. Now, Minister Ncube revealed yesterday during a mid-term budget and economic performance review panel discussion, during which he also said all key economic indicators were looking up as the economic recovery program enters overdrive. All right, that's what we had for the Herald.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Chronicle. What do we have for the Chronicle?
I love the Chronicle. Look at our first headline there. It reads, a police hunt serial real estate fraudster. Story by Peter Matika, senior reporter. Now, police in Bulawayo have launched a manhunt for a bogus real estate agent who allegedly fleeced members of the public, including the late businessman Ernest Kitekere of a Home Guard Security Services of about $200,000. The suspect is reported to have carried out the scams over a period of 4 years. Yeah, concerning there, but hopefully that will be addressed. More stories there, Zaza?
More stories coming up. We are still with the Chronicle, and the headline reads, new technology to ease congestion at toll gates. And this is coming out from the Harare Bureau. The Zimbabwe National Road Administration, ZINARA, has introduced automatic number plate recognition cameras at toll gates along the Plumtree Mutare Highway as part of border measures to reduce congestion at the toll gates. The technology uses optical character recognition on images to read vehicle registration plates, and the information gathered is used to identify and process the vehicle tolling class, licensing status, and tolling exemption status. I'm looking forward to this. I've seen this on some of our toll gates, and it's really efficient. It's quick, and you find that it reduces that lag time with when it comes to actually having to process and physically punch in the number plates of a particular car. So well done there to Zinara, as we are trying to make ourselves more efficient and more, and get our things going really, really well. All right, are we still with the Chronicle?
Yeah, we're moving on to the Newsday now. Yes, and hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. The headline reads, a wife torches a house to fix hubby. This is by Praise Morse Tole. Now, $500,000 worth of property was destroyed by fire on Tuesday when a couple at a house in Hillside in Bulawayo had a heated quarrel culminating in the wife setting the property alight. This was confirmed by Bulawayo Fire Brigade Acting Chief Fire Officer Linus Piri yesterday, who told Southern Eye that when the firefighters arrived at the scene, the fire was raging and the roof of the house had already collapsed. I'm not going to make a joke of this, but yeah. Awesome.
All right, we move on to the next story. This is still with the Newsday. Bennett raises a Zim flag high. This is a story by Margaret Ruzhidzo. Now, the Secretary General for Hockey Association of Zimbabwe, Sarah Bennett, is delighted at the raising of the country's flag at the Tokyo Olympics after she was appointed as a judge for the men's gold medal match between Australia and Belgium. The match will be taking place today. Great story right there. Looking forward to that. And I hope you guys have been watching the Olympics. It's been really exciting. All right, that's all we had for you in terms of our press review. As once again, we do implore you, please go out and actually buy the newspapers, support our local press that will be selling the papers out there. So thank you so much for joining us for press review. We take a short break. When we return.